Okay, I'm making this video in a best attempt to combat some of the, I want to say misinformation, but that feels dramatic, and give people the tools that they need to deal with the Sporeburst strain, because I know they've been a bit contentious. First things first, people have been saying use gas. Gas will stop these enemies from spore bursting. This is incorrect. Gas will cause them to spore burst. This is tested with the sterilizer, so you know there's no bullshit going on here. We all know the sterilizer kind of sucks. It's a meme. Now the next thing I will say is that they are not supposed to spore burst while they are burning. As seen here. You want to be setting them on fire with any weapon that can apply fire. This means weapons like the scythe and the laser cannon are actually quite good for the spore burst, because it does not take a huge amount of time to set an enemy on fire. It's pretty quick. You can even tag Scavengers with the scythe to set them on fire, and they will not spore burst. Fuck. The other thing I want to try and showcase here is I want to set an enemy on fire. I believe while a Spore Bust Terminid is burning, they are not supposed to spore burst. There are some edge cases in which you might kill something like a Scavenger or an enemy with an extremely low amount of health remaining, and it will cause them to spore burst. Just like that. I believe this is because if an enemy... it's possible for a flamethrower to, like, kill an enemy before it sets them on fire. It doesn't happen often, but it's more likely to happen with the Cremator. Again, the laser weapon's quite good at this. That's pretty much everything. So use fire. Set them on fire. Doesn't matter how. Do it with any tool you have, and then kill them. It will make them much easier to manage. If you are a new player who does not have access to the just unbelievable amount of premium war bonds, you're fine. You have the Orbital Napalm Barrage, you have the Eagle Napalm Strike, you have the Flamethrower. If you are concerned about taking melee damage with the Flamethrower, I would recommend pairing it with a Shield Generator backpack, potentially. Think about equipping some armor with higher armor rating, like the standard Helldiver armor, because the more damage reduction you have, the less damage you're taking from damage over time, like fire. Fire will still kill you very quickly, yes, I know, but it will kill you a little bit slower than it would if you were in light armor. Of course, if you're confident, you know, you can use light armor if you want. Jump pack isn't a bad thing to pair it with, assuming that the enemies are not spore burst, because if they do, they will catch up with you anyway, which, again, is one of the reasons why I'd recommend anything with decent armor. If you have access to anything that gives you status resistance, like acclimated or inflammable, I would highly recommend using those if you're concerned about burning to death. Just anything like that, really. A laser cannon is also pretty solid to use here because, aforementioned reasons for the scythe. The laser cannon also flexes fine into killing heavies. Like, you're not going to be killing things like Bile Titans with them quickly, but combined arms fire or pairing it with stratagems like the 500 kilo will work fine, and the 500 kilo works pretty well for clearing out bases too. Yeah, that's it. That's all you're gonna know.